Hey, thanks for volunteering to take part in this project of the Back to the Future Lab series, where students collect data and at the same time get to see your labs. If you are one of the lucky ones getting these GoPro Max cameras, this is a quick tutorial how to just get it up and running super fast. This side is where the battery and micro SD card are. It says never use that to open it, so you open it so it's red, and then you kind of dig your fingernail in there and open that side of it. If you're the first person getting the camera, you may have to put the battery in. The battery goes in that way. Blue side is down. A little blue notch there. The micro SD card, I found it a lot easier to take the battery out, and then the micro SD card can go right in there. Pretty hard to take it out. If you push it, it pops out. You shouldn't have to take this out if it's already in there, but if you are the first one to get the camera, you might have to put this in, take the battery out, and it just slides in there, writing side up. Until it clicks. And the battery goes in, the little notch goes towards the top. And then again, when you close the side, don't use the little switch. Try to close it without the switch. That's their warning. So you just slide up and lock. Not like that. Just use the switch there. And then you can lock it and it should be ready to go. All right, that's the micro SD card. And if you turn it on, this is the button to turn it on. It always beeps 3 times like that when it comes on. It's very good at communicating what it's doing. I'm not 100% sure what screen will come up when you have it, but there's really 3 different screens. This is the main screen that's up when you're filming. If you swipe down, you can get into all these like settings, which you really shouldn't have to touch at all. You might want to make sure that this one with the little voice is on. That allows you to just say GoPro start recording. And it just did. GoPro stop recording. And it stopped. All right, so that's that little voice thing. Anyway, that was on these preferences. There's a sheet you can look up if you want for all the details on these preferences, but that's really the only one that you need to make sure of is that little voice. If you swipe up, all right, now you can play back videos that you've already watched or that you've taken, so you can play them. If you don't like it, you can trash it, and so on and so forth. So there's really only 3 screens, up, down, and then the main one is right here. So when you're right here, there's just a couple things you want to pay attention to. Right now it's taking video 1080. It just says regular video. You can tell because this little corner is that little square. If I touch that corner, it turns to the round globe. That's 360. I think that's where you're going to film most of the time. So if you touch that round corner, it goes to that video mode. Now it's just operating like a regular GoPro. Now what is nice on this is if you want to record yourself in regular GoPro mode, you can do this. And if you hit that flip, now it's recording this camera because there's 2 lenses on it, one in front, one in back. So hitting that button in the regular GoPro mode will let you actually film and look at yourself if you want. If you flip it back, that's regular GoPro mode. Now it's just filming in the front. This is what we're going to do most of the time. You just touch that bottom corner. It's in 360 video now. All right. 360 video, it's filming out the front and the back all at the same time. And the only thing that you want to be careful of here is, since it's filming out the front and the back the whole time, is you got to make sure you tell it what you want it to focus on. Because if you go outside, it's going to be focused on the sun on the top, and it's going to completely wash things out. So before you start to film, what you do is you just touch the middle, until that box comes up. Once that box comes up, it's called hemisphere exposure. It says that's the thing that I want to expose correctly, and you just push the check mark, and now you're good to go for that whole recording. All right. If you're going to do a whole bunch in a row, you might want to lock it, but they suggested, I talked to GoPro, they suggested just set it like that each time. All right, and now you can start recording. Now you just have to say GoPro start recording. And it records. GoPro stop recording. And you hear those 3 beeps. So it's very distinct when it's recording and when it's not, so you know what you're doing. GoPro start recording. GoPro stop recording. There you go. All right, a couple other things to take note of with your camera. You got about an hour's worth of battery. You can see I'm at 75% right now. The other side is your SD card. How much, if I got an hour and 43 to record on my card, but I only got 75%. You got about an hour before you need to recharge it, and it just recharges in a standard USB. You do have to open up the side where the battery is to recharge it. That's where the USB goes. The other way you can start recording is there's actually a record button, a red record button on top. So if you push that, 1 beep, it's recording. 3 beeps, it lets you know it's stopped. And the power button, again, is on the side if you just want to power it off. So you can put it on one of the adapters you have. Here I just put it on this clamp, which would allow me to clamp it on anything that I want in my lab or something to film. And remember, it's filming in 360 degrees, so if you just clamp this anywhere in the middle, if you can see the camera can see you. So we can go back and edit and get all that. And there's microphones on all sides, so the audio picks up phenomenal. If you are doing something radical, you can put these little lens caps on. That's just to protect the lenses. I find they do induce some glare, so I wouldn't do that. There's also solid ones to protect it, like if you're just going to throw it in a backpack. All right, so if you're going to record, you just put it on something, set it in the middle of the room, or if you want to put it on a selfie stick, you could actually clamp it onto a selfie stick. You might want to tape it, in that case, onto a selfie stick. If you don't have a long selfie stick, a hiking pole works fine. You can just duct tape it onto a hiking pole, and again, the preferred way is straight down, so one lens points up, one lens points down, and you just kind of hold it and walk. So you would mount it like that. Okay, you don't have to have it where you're going. It's not the end of the world if you do that, but it seems to work better if you do that. There's another little video how to make a selfie stick that's included in the GoPro notes document, so you can check that out if you want. So here you go. If I'm ready to start recording, I don't know what screen I've hit here. I'm on the playback screen. So again, there's only 3 swipes, so I'm going to swipe down to get back to my regular recording screen. I want to check that I'm in the right mode. It says 360 video. If for some reason it got turned on to video, it's going to be a square. I'm going to go to 360 video. If for some reason it got turned on to photos, you can swipe right and left on this screen, like there's 360 photo. No reason really to ever take a 360 photo unless you want to. I'm back to 360 video. So again, that's just swiping left and right. So now I'm back to 360 video and I'm ready to go. So if you just set it in your lab now and you want to start recording and walk around the room and talk while you're doing it, you can do that. If you wanted to set it like right next to your, above something, like you could set it above where you're going to be working, that's fine. I can get you there. I can get you as you walk around your room. Kind of setting it above, if you're going to be working on some labs, like up on a shelf, would be awesome. But if you can see the camera, I can see you in the post-editing. So once you get it set up, we're just going to hit GoPro up. Got to make sure we tell it what we want it to focus on. I want to get the exposure correct right there on that computer. So I'm going to touch the screen till the little box comes up. Say yes, check. GoPro start recording. Now it's going to record. Doesn't matter where I walk. I can walk wherever I want. It's filming at all 360 degrees at all times. GoPro stop recording. There you go. Now, just be aware if you want to see what you got. It's going to record. Doesn't matter where I walk. I can walk wherever I want. It's filming at all 360 degrees at all times. GoPro stop recording. So it's only showing you one lens when you look it back, but everything is there, and I'll show you a little bit of that later. All right. Thanks. So here's the workflow when you're done recording. You're going to have the camera on, open the side where the battery is. You're going to connect the camera to your computer with the USB cable. All right. And mine automatically, my computer, you can see, just automatically started up. I'm not sure what it started up, but we want to open up GoPro Player. All right. So on your computer, if you haven't already downloaded it, you need to go to the GoPro website and download GoPro Player. I'm going to start another recording with my screen so you can see the workflow there. So the next part of the workflow is importing your video clips from your GoPro camera or any other camera for that reason that you're using, your iPhone or anything else. For the GoPro camera, you want to open up GoPro Player, and at the top menu choose Import from Camera. It will come up with this, and you just select the clips that you want to import. Then this next part is really important. You want to actually choose to import it into your Downloads folder. The Downloads folder will make it much faster to import it, and it won't automatically back things up to your iCloud. So I would highly recommend put everything into your Downloads folder. Makes it super fast, super easy. And again, anything from your iPhone or anything else that you record, you can put it all in that same folder. All right, in this part of the clip, I'd like to show you the workflow where you take your videos and actually transfer them to the Google Drive. So what you'll need to do is open up the Google Drive folder that I should have sent you all. We have a folder for each of you. It's in our virtual field trips. And under virtual field trips, there's actually a folder called transfer, video transfer for each one of your names. So what you'll do is you'll go in there and take your, open your specific folder, then make that window a little bit smaller, then open up your Downloads folder if that's where you chose to put your video clips. Find the video clips that you transferred to your download folder and just drop them into that Google Drive folder. It will take it a while to transfer because these are really large files, but that's all you have to do. This last part I put in just in case you're curious how it works. When you open up GoPro Player and you open up one of these 360 videos, you have to do what's called reframing. You can also do this on your phone if you get the app, but there is film now in 360 degrees, and so what I'll do with your video then is based on what you're saying, I'll reframe it by moving it around to focus on whatever you're talking about. And then you make a little mark on this little timeline. And then you move to the next thing you're talking about in the video. So I'm going to slide the video forward a little bit and say I want to focus instead ahead on a garbage can or something like that. So right here I'm going to say I'm going to mark the film again. I'll go forward, and it's always nice, the horizon leveling. And I'll zoom in on those garbage cans and I'll mark that as the next point of interest. And then what GoPro does automatically is it stitches it from that first view, like of my friend on his bike, to the garbage cans and zooms in automatically for you. So what I'll do with your video is I'll just take it and put little points of interest there, and it will just continue to zoom in and move around the room to focus on anything that you're talking about.